Turtle logo lessons. So this is just a brief overview of what exactly Turtle logo for Microsoft Arcade is. This URL right here is the URL that you use to grab the extension. Before we start talking about Arcade and extensions, it might be useful to find out what exactly Turtle logo is and logo. So logo is a really old programming language developed in the 1960s as a tool to teach elementary students how to program. It's probably most famous by Seymour Papert because he was the individual that introduced the turtle graphics to it. And turtle graphics is just a little tiny robot that looks like a turtle that was introduced to try to make it more appealing to elementary students. And the initial idea of having the robot was then moved into the computer where it was a little turtle drawing on the screen. So Microsoft Arcade is a program used for making 1980s style arcade games, and you can make extensions for this. So if you go back to this URL and copy it and then go to extensions, hopefully it might show up here eventually, but for now, if it's not there, if you just drop that URL in and press enter, you can grab the extension and you'll notice up at the very top here, the first set of menu icons for the blocks will change and the first one will become a turtle. So there we go. So that URL adds in this library of blocks. The first set of blocks, all the green ones under turtle commands, are used for introduction to programming with turtle logo. They'll only be able to have one sprite on the screen at a time. Obviously it's a turtle, and they can use the blocks to move the turtle around and get it to say things. So all of these sections of blocks are used for the simple one sprite turtle. The ones after that, sprite commands, these are used so that students can create their own sprites and drop them on. So a little more complex because they have to understand what variables are. Just going to delete these old ones. But they can choose any of the sprites from the gallery, or they could draw their own sprites as well. And they can actually have more than one sprite showing up on the screen at a time, whereas in the simplified version they can't. So I'm just going to grab the second one, make the duck. So we have two variables called myturtle1, myturtle2. I'm going to move myturtle forwards, but I'm going to duplicate this block and have myturtle2 move backwards. So once students understand the basics for the simple ones, then they can move on to this and understand more complex coding with variables and understanding that they can have different variables doing different things at the same time.